Well, I wanted to ask you some questions on being a production assistant because I'm an incomer industry, and I want to know, as a first AD or a second AD, what are you looking for in a production assistant to work with you?
Someone who's in the game up
Okay.
here. I want someone who gets it. And you'll hear that phrase a lot, someone who gets it. You'll see a writer's room say, oh, that writer's assistant gets it. And you'll see somebody say in the office, oh, that new PA gets it. The camera operator totally gets what we're doing. He understands what the framing is and what the story is, and he's helping us tell the story.
Right.
I want a PA who says, okay, what do we need, when do we need it, and how do I help them out? And as a PA, it can be simple things like, you know what, I notice that every morning Bob comes in and he's the DP and he always has water. He drinks water, that's the first thing he does. Let's make sure we have water. Well, if I say, hey, could you grab me and one of the other guys water, you come back with an armful of waters. It could be I say, hey, you know what I really need is the scripts delivered to this person, make sure they get it. You take the script, you deliver them the script, you come back to me and you say, I gave them the script and everything's good. If I'm in the office and you're making runs, you're making phone calls back to me saying, hey, just finish the run, do you need anything before I come back?
Right.
You're thinking of what our needs are so that I can know that you're covering my back. And if you make yourself mentally get into that groove, you become invaluable. When you become someone who's a value to my team, value-added person, then wherever I go, that guy's going to go with me. That girl's going to go with me.
Okay.
If you're just there to say, well, I was waiting for you to tell me something, I'm like, great. I've hired a road cone. You know, useful when I need it, but when I don't, it's just standing there. That's great. If I needed that, I would just hire a road cone. I hired a person. I want somebody thinking. I will accept a PA coming to me going, hey, you know, in that scene, and they ask me a question about it. Because now I know they're thinking about what we're doing. They're looking at what we're doing. They're looking through the monitors. There's,
Right.
you know, when I'm going, if we're in a rush and all of a sudden we got to move a mark, and a bunch of us are pulling marks off the floor, they're right there with me. They're helping out. There's obviously lines and union rules and places you can and can't do. But in all real sense, I want someone who's thinking, if I was doing Greg's job, what would I do? If I was doing the second AD's job, I want a PA who wants to know how to do the forms. How does it? What are the rules? How do I learn this thing? Otherwise, why are you being a PA? You know, if you don't want to learn the business, then there's a lot of better ways to make that little amount of money.
So it's like being invested in the film and not just being told what to do.
You want someone who's invested in the film. You don't want somebody who's obnoxious. You know, I had one kid who saw me one day drinking a Perrier, and I only had a Perrier because I walked out of the writer's room and they had Perrier. It was cold. I said, oh, I'll take one of those. So the next day I show up and there's a Perrier on my podium. Oh, that's very sweet. And then he's like, I want to get on your next job. I know what you're going to. And every day, more and more Perriers started showing up on the podium. And people started going, does he love, what's going on with you two guys? You know? And it became a little silly. And it wasn't silly, it became obnoxious. It went from being cute and silly to, one day I came and there was a bucket with 2 giant Perrier. He was spending his own money. I'm like, dude, stop. You know?
Right.
You know, and but what he was trying to do was endear himself to me. So you also have to recognize people have boundaries and figure out what they are. But have a script in your hand, have the call sheet in your hand, have a pencil and paper with you, take notes, have your cell phone, be charged up, have your walkie, have a spare walkie battery on you. Just think about what are the things that are going to be asked of you. And the quicker you can come up with the answer or the solution, the better off you are. With a smile.